Anti-Semitism is exploding across Europe, from France to Germany, from the Netherlands to Italy. Jewish people are being harassed yet again in Europe. Well, Simon Barrett of Revelation TV joins us now from London. Simon, what is going on in Europe?
Yeah, so what we're seeing across the continent of Europe now is frightening. We are seeing so many outbreaks of Jew hatred, where Jewish people are being targeted, where Israelis are being targeted, whether that's in Britain, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Belgium. Europe is becoming a dangerous place for Israelis and for Jewish people. I'll just give you a couple of rundowns of what we've seen recently. So on Thursday, the 21st of August, two Israeli holidaymakers who were vacating what is known as Center Parks, which is a leisure camp and holiday camp for families and for young people. They were secretly filmed and it was uploaded to social media. And local residents then decided to attack them so violently that they were taken to hospital. That's in the Netherlands. And then if we see what's happened in France, in the region of the French Alps, British Orthodox Jewish holidaymakers went to the Alps to enjoy the mountains and the beautiful scenery, only to find that their 5 cars were sprayed in orange paint that said "Free Palestine," which is very disturbing for them. We've had other instances, for example, in France as well, and this is in the area of the French Provence area near the Spanish border, where 150 Israeli children and teenagers were denied access to a leisure center where they'd be doing on slip adventure courses, they'd go on rides and just having a good time, were denied entry. Now that guy's been arrested. And the UK as well, we've seen that a music artist known as Bob Vylan, who was starred in Glastonbury, which is Britain and biggest and Europe's biggest music festival, chanted death to the IDF. And the Community Security Trust has reported that anti-Semitism has increased since he's done that. So sadly, I think we're seeing that Europe is now becoming a frightening place for Jewish people.
So what do we do with this, Simon? As Christians, especially, here in the United States, I feel like we might be, a decade behind. But then you look at what happened in Boulder, Colorado. Then you look at what happened at the synagogue of Pittsburgh, at the synagogue in Poway. It's not just an over there problem. So what should Christians in the West, how should we be processing this? What should we be doing?
Well, firstly, I think we have to kind of process this and to look at the responsibility of this inflaming Jew hatred that we're seeing across Britain and across the continent of Europe starts with our media. So our mainstream media reporting the situation in Gaza, saying there's a humanitarian crisis, that Israel is deliberately starving the Gazans and preventing international aid and assistance to their help, which we know is controlled by Hamas. So this is playing into the minds of Islamists and others across Europe who see that Israel is at fault. So therefore, the Israelis need to be attacked and Jewish people need to be attacked as well. So when we look at scriptures, we have to look at Jeremiah 16, verses 15 and 16, which talks about the Jewish people coming back to the land of Israel in fulfillment of prophecy, and how God is going to send out the fishermen, firstly, to bring them back, known as Aliyah, so that they can come back in fulfillment of biblical prophecy. Then he says, I will send out the hunters to hunt them and to bring them back home. And I think we are now living in the time and the season of the hunters. And so this should make us very concerned that what starts with the Jewish people never finishes with the Jewish people. And if the police and our government and our authorities don't clamp down on these appalling attacks against the Jewish community, then that same fear and terror is going to come and terrorize European civilization.
Well, okay, so you mentioned examples in France, in the Netherlands, obviously places like Italy. We see what happened in Greece recently. What's happening in the UK? How are your Jewish friends, how are they feeling right now?
I think my Jewish friends are feeling very scared. They're feeling very vulnerable. There isn't a day that doesn't go past where we're seeing some sort of anti-Semitic incident being reported in our daily newspapers. I mean, for example, the Community Security Trust published their figures on recorded instances of anti-Semitism for the first half of 2025, and they're over 1,500 reported instances. Considering our community is over 200,000, it's very small, but this is underreported because many Jewish people won't actually report what's going on. So I think it's imperative as Christians that we show them love and support and solidarity to make them feel that they're not alone. But we also need authorities to really clamp down on those who are instigating this Jew hatred and attacks against the Jewish people.
You know what's interesting, what's horrific about the history of anti-Semitism from my vantage point is anti-Semitism is a slithery evil that always finds its way to make itself palatable to the current generation, right? In the Middle Ages, Jews were called this because they were drinking the blood of Christians or, snatching up Christian babies or whatever. It always morphs. But then you look back at the Middle Ages, you're like, I would never happen to me, or Nazi anti-Semitism, where, whatever the things that Joseph Goebbels and all those people would say, like, well, I would never fall for that. But now it's morphed into listen. I'm not this. I'm this. And so I do think it is a canary in the coal mine moment, which is the hatred of the Jewish people to me is the hatred of the God of Israel. The hatred of the Jewish people to me is a hatred of what the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob brought into this world, right? That we're not pagans, that we're not heathens, that we're not survival of the fittest, but all people are created in the image of God and worthy of life. And I don't think I just never thought we'd come to this place. Like I naively thought that we'd come to this place where our Jewish friends are scared from the UK to Australia to Colorado. This is our canary in the coal mine moment. If someone in the comment section makes something, well, if you keep getting kicked out of bars, I hate that comment. It's so ridiculous because the idea is, well, then it's the Jewish people's fault. I think the Jewish people are a mirror to the world, where if you reject and ostracize and attack the Jewish people, then there's something festering that's not good. Now, obviously, does that mean the caveat? Does that mean that everything Israel does is good? Obviously, no. Can you criticize Israel? Obviously, is the IDF always no? But the idea that Jewish people across Europe are scared or being harassed all over the world, this I think is our canary in the coal mine moment. So Simon, I know you've dedicated a lot of your life to this. I'll give you the last word, brother. Where do we go from here?
I think we need to pray. I mean, that's all we need to do. And we need to show love and support to the Jewish community, to Israel at this time. They are scared. They feel isolated. They feel demonized. And this is the time that as Christians, we can make a difference, that we can be that generation who failed during the Second World War to speak up and befriend the Jewish people when they needed them. Today, in their hour of need, we can make a difference by befriending our Jewish friends and making them feel that they're not alone and speaking up against Jew hatred and demonstrating that in their places of work by comforting the Jewish people wherever we come across them.
Simon, my brother, I appreciate your time.
Pleasure. Thank you.